Hi, welcome to a new episode of Flow States, the YouTube series in which we review the best sign-up flows out there to learn and get inspired from them. So today, without further ado, we want to dive in straight into a new way of doing this episode. And it's not only by diving into one flow, but into comparing the flows of similar companies. And I was driven to try that today because we're trying to select for Upflowy, which is the company that I'm directing, a new way to collect feedback and prioritize features driven by user feedback. And when we started looking for solutions, a few obvious names popped up like Canny, but also, we discovered amazing deals on AppSumo, and we started reviewing them and comparing them. And I think that's a process that a lot of users will typically do when they have to extend that stack and try to find new products that will make their life easier and the life of their users better. So we've selected three of them, Canny being one, Sleekplan being the second one, and the last one being Frill. I wouldn't have heard about these companies without AppSumo, so kudos to them for finding these companies and offering us amazing deals. I'm a AppSumo fan, and I keep discovering new ways of approaching customers. I think in itself, AppSumo will be worth a review one day. So in the meantime, I think the point of this review will be to compare our companies with a similar target market and a similar product, approach customers differently to learn from the delta in between the approach and understand why it's done that way. So I'm going to start with the most famous competitor in that space named Canny. And Canny is something you have seen in many websites. It's something that integrates with plenty of the tool of the marketing stack, such as Intercom and Segment, and that I think you will feel already used to. So I go on their website, and the first thing I realize is that I think their logo, right? And their logo being very simple, it almost kind of something unusual at this level and at this level of fame. And I think it's pretty cool because they kind of make the brand disappear behind the product. That being said, it's the only point of colors of the top part of the website. So yes, it's very interesting touch here. Then you can find very small touch of their main colors that was the logo's color, and all the thing apart from that are about their product and amazing screenshots, reviews, and way people interact with the product. I was kind of expecting to see Canny pops up, but here I have Intercom. If I open Intercom, I would expect maybe Canny to run here. No, it doesn't. So maybe they don't use Canny for their website. I think, personally, I think it's a waste of opportunity to demonstrate your product. Maybe it will pop up later in the flow, so I'll start with that. So that's my first impression on the landing page. Build better product with customer feedback is exactly what I'm after. And then, if I go down, I can quickly see how it works. So capturing product feedback, informing product decision, prioritize, and announce product updates. That's something I didn't have in mind. That's a very interesting use case. Now, let's go to Sleekplan. Sleekplan being, a very similar tool that I, as I say, discovered on AppSumo. And I think it does something a bit different, obviously, but I see the name satisfaction survey pops up. Interesting. The look and feel is quite similar. Here I can see something very similar, and the same Intercom integration with this time, I think this being them, because I do know that they have an integration with Intercom that is pretty well done. So they are showcasing the product in their Intercom integration, which is something interesting, I find. And then, this is slightly different when you look at what is possible. I won't dive into the feature comparison right now. That's not the point. And finally, Frill, a better way to collect customer feedback. I can notice instantly the free forever. I can see that there is, by the way, 3 different colors for the 3 competitors. So obviously, I think when you create a competitive product, you try to position your brand in in contrast to your competitors so that, you're identified yet identifiable. And then I think, the feature plan is very similar. Also, now let's dive into the call to action. So Frill is like sign up free forever. As I say, quite eye-catching. Then I go here, sign up for free, which is obviously less promising, but why not? And finally, the get started of the most famous solution that is just like, look, you are likely to use a product, free 14 days trial, no credit card required, very good expected setting on that one. So I'm going to start with Canny. And here what they do is basically re-highlight the fact that I have a 14 days trial, which is fair. And then that I can mainly connect with Google, which I think will be very relevant for their specific target market, which is like the startup of the world and the fast-growing organization of the world. So I'm going to quickly sign up here using my Upflowy email account. And see what they take me in terms of onboarding. So I was afraid for a while that I was going back a step. It turns out that I'm still in the same registering experience. So just a back and forth between Google, that's pretty standard. I think it was fast enough so that I wasn't shocked. They captured my my email address. Now they want my company. They could have had that through the Google integration. Some companies choose to do it, some companies don't. The reason why you wouldn't do that is because, people can uncheck this box, and every, additional piece of data is usually a reason for drop. So I appreciate that. And something I'm really sensitive to personally is they create my personal URL and then don't even need to say it. I know that now I have my domain booked inside Canny, which I really like. So far, very standard. I love the fact that there was a reference to ClickUp CEO and how they use Canny. I think that had a lot of legitimacy, especially in that space. There is no better customer than Intercom for Canny because, they are the king of interacting with customers, and the fact that they choose to use Canny says a lot towards the usefulness of Canny. Then that's where, it's very dedicated, very, focused experience on what am I going to use Canny for. And I think if you have any sign-up flow there, the one thing you need is this type of screens because then you're going to be able to customize the product. So I really like this simple approach. I'm going to see what it takes me. I want to obtain public feedback. And by the way, I think you've noticed this helps us tailor our onboarding, which is exactly what I expect them to do. Very fair game. So here, I want to create a new board. I feel like maybe it's customized because I feel like feature request is what is suggested here. I will want to see whether, if I had selected one of the two other options, I would have landed on some different outcome here. But let's say that for now, I actually want feature. And look, amazing to see ClickUp being sponsored here. Yeah, they open it in the new tab, which is smart. And they show the live product for a very famous company as well. Very smart. This is very nice. I think this is quite rare, not only to show not a testimonial, but a direct link to something that actually works. And that belongs to a large company, and that is active, right? So, you can definitely see that this thing is lively. And I think there is no better proof. If you can feature your product in a live way versus, having a picture of someone saying, I love this product, I think it will always be much better. And I haven't seen it done that way, and I'm really impressed there. So perfect point. I just want to click on privacy settings. Great. So their product shines here as well. It was quite hidden. I think it's more for an advanced user. And they already hint me towards pay plan. I won't play with that just now, but I think it's pretty smart to have that for people that know what they're doing. I'm not going to play with that now, and I'm just going to create it to see and likely go to their experience where there is an onboarding. So I'm going to stop there for Canny. A very short onboarding, very focused, very smart. Not much to say again that. I don't know how much more they could have helped me do things. It seems that the only next step is to customize my page. They didn't ask me to integrate into any platform, which is, something that can be detrimental, especially because that's, they're not going to create value unless, they integrate their tool inside my platform. So we'll come back to that. Let's move to Sleekplan, right? And Sleekplan, very similar offering, very clear call to action here. So I want to sign up for free, means no credit card required, which is the same level of promise. I didn't see anything about the 14 days free, and I think it was quite weird that it was giving me 40 days free without like mentioning any credit cards. Maybe I got confused about that. All in all, I'm in, and I don't have the feeling, by the way, in Canny that there is any time limit on my use. So that's something that can be improved possibly. Product name, Upflowy, email. Actually, I'm going to use another company here because disclosure, we ended up using this one after a quick assessment. So I'm going to use my other email address, my full name. Done. So here it says that we have a 30 days free trial. No credit card required. So I think replicating best practices. Also, I think, so I the side of my eyes caught like kind of the reference to Drift. I think they've done less of a good job highlighting an amazing customer that is Drift. And possibly, I don't even know whether that's a testimonial about their product, maybe just a quote. So maybe they try to show testimonials, that's not really one. And it's a very long text as well. So I would assume most people don't read through and never get to the point where it's Drift. I'm not sure they're super proud of this part of their onboarding, but nonetheless, good effort. Right, celebration time. And then it seems like a real onboarding, and that's really cool. So collect feedback and click a public challenge. All right, so that's something that's, it's a different approach to the product. So they're not asking me what I want to do with it. They're asking me which component I want from it. And it's fine. I might not have all the information I need to go through that. So make sure that when you ask questions, you know that the users have enough to choose. I would assume that most people don't want to skip a part of the product. They will choose the left box, there's the left option, and maybe the right option will be reserved to people that are more experienced. I think it's a bit premature, to be honest, on the level of knowledge I have of the product. This is really cool. This is really cool because it doesn't use any complicated words. Does the user have to provide an email address to leave feedback? I would assume that no, but maybe there I would appreciate best practices because I'm making a call that I will assume I can override later, but that's not at all an obvious choice for me at this stage, not knowing the best practices. So adding best practices in that screen will go miles, like I think converting and convincing people that they are an expert in what they're doing. Finally, integration, not finally, I think we still have a few steps, and by the way, that is very well done. How do we plan to integrate Sleekplan into our product? Embeddable widget, standalone board, and I think that they're going right into it. I think they're going to try to have me install the thing very fast. I know the integration that are available. Intercom will be my choice. I'm going to go for standalone board for now, just for the sake of not doing the integration right now. There is a theme, I can change it. That's really cool. And I can see how it looks on my right. I'm just going to check that, yeah, it's absolutely flexible. I really like that. I think that's really cool because that makes me in control of the tool. It shows me the tool. I think beyond just the customization, the fact that it shows me the tool itself, make me understand what I'm dealing with. So, when I'm scrolling through a website, I'm not paying attention to all the details of the interface. And so when I'm in a focus flow like this one, interacting, giving my time and my information, every information here is more valuable to me. And so I really like what they've done here. Finally, set up your domain, and that's something where I think similar to Canny, very good job on that, like celebration. And then I have, that's interesting. So instead of putting me in front of a complicated onboarding where I can say like do that or do that or do that, and they show that to me on the interface, they try to direct my first interaction. That's something very rare as well, and I find it very smart in the sense that it will help me get into the product from the right end, and they must have identified that there was different success routes. I really like this onboarding. I think there is a lot of things done right and very innovative ones as well. I'm going to assume I'm going to invite my team and try to see what it comes there. So we're inside the product, but they just use this filter to redirect me to different part of the product. I really like that. And possibly, they could have more value even saying like, what I should do to achieve a specific outcome. But, and that's more personalization, customization, but it's already very, very good. So I'm going to stop here because we are inside the product, and I'm going to go to Frill now. And this video being already a bit longer, so thanks a lot for holding on until now. I think we're learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. I'm having fun. So thanks for sticking around, and feel free to pause and come back later. But I think we're going to spend 4 more minutes on this competitor and wrap it up. So Frill.co. The call to action is obvious. No credit card required. No payment period. No free payment period. So I'm pretty sure, like, very aligned. I think they've all looked at each other and have comparative offer. We are not going to dive into the pricing today. I'm going to add my Upflowy email account. Yes, I love being spammed. And I'm going to create my password. So you can already see maybe there is a bit less attention to this page because of the password interaction, but that's pretty cool. All right, I really like that. So how Canny had a way to copy the name of the company inside the flow and I could change. I think that's another way. And it's actually a good way to ask for a company name because you're getting a value from it. Like you're reserving your domain name with them. I'm not even sure they're going to use it, but you're reserving your domain name with them, and that's really cool. So I'm going to reserve my domain name, and while doing so, give them my company name. I think very few people will give the wrong company name there because that's where you start kind of acquiring property in a way, right? And they take another angle to the same problem. Like instead of trying to set up the board for me, they're trying to get me to fill in the board as a user, right? I don't know if it's a reflection of how the product is different or a very smart approach to get me engaged. So I'm going to say something like, we want to offer more integration options, such as with Canny, why not, right? Includes new partners like Canny, and continue. I would have checked kind of the example they were suggesting, a lot of small details that are actually quite interesting. Add topics to your ID. I really like that they're suggesting it in a very, that's a product shining through it. And I think it looked great. So they make it easy for now. And then I start status. So they basically taught me to use the tool using possibly something that looks like the tool. I think that's really much like Asana inspired. It's very, very cool. I really like that because then I'm going to start my life in this tool with something already set. Please note that actually here, Frill is mainly a board. It doesn't tell me about integrating it to my website. It doesn't look like it is. So I think, all right, I will conclude on that. I think Frill has done a great job as a feature that is a feature set that is looked at least more restricted. And what they've done is that with that in mind, they developed a specific experience to engage with a product very fast because the product is quite simple. And so that's why we end up having quite a different experience compared to Canny and Sleekplan. We're more comparable. I think overall, first of all, I think we will do more of these like comparative reviews because we learn a lot about how companies think about things. I think the award today goes to Sleekplan for having done a very good job getting me in touch with the product and trying to anticipate on my like successful journey through the app. And I think it shows that they've put a lot of consideration into that and into the activation process. So thanks a lot for tuning in today. I would love to hear what you've learned from what I've went through, because I went through pretty fast and I'm sure I've missed on things. So please share more things that you've seen in this video. I would love to know about other comparatives that you would want to see, and I'll dive straight into it. I want to be challenged on these kind of things. Thanks a lot. Have a great day and keep growing every day. Bye bye.